Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lauren, and welcome to another Vlogmas video. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing all things dogs and what to buy for Christmas for them. Now, I hear some of you saying, why would you buy gifts for your dog at Christmas? They have no idea what's going on. Well, personally for me, I love my little furry friend to be included in the festivities on the day. And very often with my presents, as you will see, I end up just buying them things that are completely practical and what I was going to buy them anyway, but I just use Christmas as an excuse to, buy them and purchase them. And actually some of the things that I have here are already Bruno's and I've brought them for him in the past. But they're just to give you an idea, if you're looking for something for your little dog, what you could buy them. So first up is toys, and Bruno, my little love, isn't particularly a toy fan in terms of your typical what you would expect a dog to like. If you throw a ball, he wonders why you threw something and watches you while you go and retrieve it. He doesn't like things that squeak. He doesn't particularly like any of your standard dog toys. He will very, very occasionally surprise me and pick something up, but honestly, I think I can say hand on heart, I don't remember him doing that at all this year. So he really isn't a dog that particularly likes to play in that way. He would much rather play out in a field, running around with another dog where he can play fight, or even with me. He will get quite mouthy with me and enjoy playing that way. I can get him occasionally to play tug. I will have some of the, I'll grab them for you actually. So we have the Tug Enough tugs, and we've got a few of these. You can get them in both real and faux fur. And the idea is that you kind of hold the handle and drag this along the floor and the dog chases it, grabs it and tugs it. And if he's in the right mood and I have that with me, he will play with it. But not always. So aside from that, I just have other ways in which I kind of stimulate him, particularly if it is kind of really bad weather outside. He's not going to enjoy walking as much. So we just keep those really short, and I want to just do something else to kind of engage his brain back at home. So they are feeding toys, specifically for Bruno. It's what he loves. And this is the first one. I will link it down in the description box below. And essentially what happens is you take the lid off of them, fill them with treats or kibble, and you can see my thumb coming through there actually. And the kibble, because it's egg-shaped, it kind of wobbles, and when they wobble it in the right way, the kibble will fall out the hole. So they find that quite interesting actually, and find that quite engaging. And it's got these sort of rivets in it that stop all of the kibble falling out too quickly. And there is a little slider on the side here, and what that does is it closes the gap on the hole. So if you do have really kind of small kibble or treats, because your dog is smaller, you can choose the size that you want the hole so it doesn't fall out too quickly. And then similarly, I've got this one here, which is by the Kong brand, and you take the ends off here. And this one rolls, and it actually kind of has a bit of maybe like a ball bearing in it or something similar to that. So when your dog moves it one way, it actually pushes itself back the other, and the kibble falls out of these holes here. And because it does do that where it rolls back again, it stops it all just continuously rolling along the floor through the room, and letting all of the kibble out too quickly. So this one is really nice, but as you can see, it is quite big. It's relatively heavy, so it is for your larger scale dogs. And this egg one here, I would say, is suited to pretty much any size dog, but your little dogs will really enjoy this one as well because it's a lot lighter weight, and it's bottom heavy too, so it tends to just stay upright and wobble like that. I will also link the Tug Enoughs down in the description box as well. I did get mine from a dog show of some sort, I think, a little while ago, but they've held up really well. So I'll link the website down below so you can have a little look. Next up, and actually Bruno had this for his birthday, is beds. And I don't know about you, but my dog absolutely loves his bed, although albeit he's actually currently sat on mine. But yeah, he really enjoys his beds, and I've recently bought him 2 new ones, as I say, for his birthday. I bought him this one here, which is a crate mat style bed, albeit it's not in a crate, but he really enjoys this one with a blanket on the top, and I will link this one down in the description box for you so that you've got that for reference. And I wanted one specifically, this one, to be kind of really orthopedic, and I didn't want him to be able to feel the floor when he lays on it, and I'm quietly confident that he can't. It's nice and thick and really sturdy, and yeah, he seems to really like this one. When I'm going to bed of an evening, he always jumps straight onto this bed rather than mine, which is quite nice. So yeah, as I say, he usually gets on there with a blanket, and I cover him over with a blanket, and off he goes to sleep. And the other one that I bought him more recently, this one is in his crate, and it looks very luxurious and over the top, but it's a foam pad base. I need to take that label off it really, but he's not a dog that chews anything, apart from my footstool once. If you've watched that YouTube video of me having to reupholster that, that's the only thing he's ever chewed in 4 years. I digress. But yeah, this is a nice fluffy bed that he's got with this bolster edge around the top half. This one, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, it was from HomeSense, and so I doubt that they're going to have it online. If they do, I'll link it down below, but I'm not particularly sure that they will. But yeah, if you have a HomeSense near you and you want to go and have a look for them, do, but I can't promise that they have them in store. I bought that one a few months ago now, probably 2 months ago, and they had quite a few in store then, but as I say, with the nature of HomeSense, I can't promise that they have them in a store near you. Coming up to my next one, and I don't have this, I'm pretty certain it's in the car with my torch, is a little light up collar. Now the one that I have for Bruno I will link down below as well, and you can get them in different sizes, and they're rechargeable, which I think is great, and I very rarely have to recharge this one for the amount that I use it, but I just think they're a really great safety feature if you are walking your dog out and about. I personally don't let Bruno off the lead if it's absolutely pitch black, but if it's just getting a little bit dark of an evening or the sun is coming up in the morning and I do let him off lead, I do like him to have something light up on, just so that I can make sure I can definitely still see him even when it's not completely light outside. And then on top of that also, if we're walking near a road, or to be honest, just around other people, it's nice to just have that light up collar on him so that people know where he is. Obviously road safety goes without saying, drivers will then be able to see that there's a dog there, but also when you're around other people walking, if you have a small dog, you will make sure that they're, or definitely reduce the chances of them being stood on with a light up collar. Bruno isn't so much of an issue, but the Daxies that I've had in my life in the past and currently, they can definitely be a trip or a stand-on hazard. So moving on from that one, some of you may know that Bruno was a street dog, albeit he was only on the street for around 3 days before a charity went and rescued him with the rest of his litter mates and his mum. So he's never had to fend for himself, so to speak, on the streets, but he is a particularly cold dog, which you wouldn't expect of a dog from Romania, where they have brutally cold winters, and he was born in November, so he was born right in winter and it was very snowy. But regardless of that, he definitely feels the cold, and if I don't have the heating on at home, he will shiver until I put a blanket or a jumper on him. So I've been to Pets at Home and I've bought him a couple of new jumpers. And this one here is 3 Peaks. I've taken the label off it because he wore it today, but it's the Bionic Finish Eco Full Coverage Suit. Bruno is in a medium, and this one was £30, and it looks a little bit like this. Now I have to say I don't love the colour. They had it in a bit of a khaki green and I did prefer that, but they didn't have a size. So I bought it in the red regardless, and another thing is that it will just make him really easy to be seen again. It's got a reflective strip down the zip, and it has the legs in it, which are great. It's just going to keep some of that mud off of his legs. and just, yeah, keep him nice and warm when we're out and about. It also has this drawstring on the front, which is really great for him. He is a bit of a funny shape, bless him, and jumpers and coats very often slide down his neck. So with this one having the drawstring on it, you can see that I can just make it that little bit tighter and a bit more adjustable and stop it sliding down so much. But yeah, it's this bit here. So this is where his front legs go. And it's this part here on his chest that really gets covered in mud when he's running around. So thank goodness when he has this on, it's going to keep the mud off of him. And this is machine washable, so I can just throw it in the wash whenever is needed. And similarly, I also bought him this one here, which is the same brand. It's Three Peaks again, and this one is the waterproof terrain suit. And again, I bought this obviously in a medium, being the same brand, and this one was also £30. Now, as this one says, it's a waterproof suit. It's got taped seams in it, which is really impressive, and it's basically the same design as the last one. So it's got all 4 legs in it. It's got the drawstring neck. This one has far more reflective strips on it, which I really, really love. The more reflective and easy seeing my dog is during winter, the better, in my opinion. This one also has drawstrings around the waist, so you can pull that up nice and close to their body to keep the water off them. And then it's just got a zip up the back, which is nice to have that fastening up the back so it's easier to get to. This one, lost my train of thought then. I knew I was going to say something. So what I can do with the pair of these is that I can put the fleece one on as a base layer if it's really cold and wet. So this one can go on to keep him nice and warm, and then I'll be able to put the raincoat on over the top to also keep him dry, and it'll also keep that fleece nice and dry as well to stop it getting absolutely sodden. And then this one will just dry off really nicely. Obviously, if it's just wet and it's not too cold, he can just wear the rain jacket. And then if it's just cold and kind of muddy and not raining, he can just wear the fleece. But I love the fact that I have the option to pair the two as well, and it's going to cover both angles because he's going to be really grateful for this. And for me to have a less muddy dog, and also he'll be happier because he'll be warm and dry, that's just an absolute win for me. So although they were a bit of a splurge combined, being £60, they are absolutely worth it, and I'm sure they will last him a really, really long time. So a couple of other things that are worth mentioning are licky mats. I have an absolute ton of them, but if you don't know what they are, they look like this. You put any kind of spread on it really that's safe for dogs to have. So a dog safe peanut butter, so one that's just made of 100% peanuts. You can spread that on. Things like soft cheeses, as long as they're safe for dogs, you can put those on as well. And also you can make a paste of their kibble just by soaking their kibble in water. It kind of goes into a paste and you can put that on there. You can also do mashed bananas and other fruits that are safe for them, things like blueberries. So yeah, there is a ton of options. Yogurts, if you look on Pinterest, there are so many options, and very often it suggests that you put them in the freezer too, because basically the idea is that you give these to the dog, they lick it and sort of lick the food away, but it takes them a really long time, which obviously mentally stimulates them. And also the licking kind of behaviour, that's really kind of soothing for dogs, so that can be quite nice as well. One for over the Christmas period when lots of things are very busy, it can kind of take them away from the busyness for maybe 20 minutes and just allow them to decompress a little bit. But yeah, and then other than that, it's just dog treats and blankets, you know, all of those standard things that you might just need to restock on for your dog. It's always a great option. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video today. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you now have some ideas of things to treat your furry friends to for the Christmas period. I will catch you in the next one, but until then, take care. Thanks, bye bye.